Hey everybody, it is Kyle here with Unboxed Autos, and 2021 was obviously a hard year for everybody, but we did see some pretty exciting vehicles come into play. One of those being the 2021 Ford Bronco. Now, we have the keys to a Bronco right here. We are sitting inside of it. We are up here in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. I wish we could have all the doors off today, but unfortunately it's still about 45 degrees outside. But obviously, super exciting vehicle. There's probably not a more exciting vehicle introduced in 2021 from the American car manufacturers. This is definitely the most exciting one, and it's been highly sought after. I mean, we have Broncos, the top of the line Broncos like we're in here today, that MSRP for around $55,000 to $60,000, going for over $100,000 because of the demand is so high, and obviously the supply is low right now with everything going on. But that's okay. You guys do not have to spend $100,000 right now on a Ford Bronco, because I'm going to show you everything you want to know. We're going to go ahead and take it for a test drive. We're going to talk about the technology. We're going to talk about the interior. We're going to show you everything on the inside, and then also on the outside as well. Now, the Bronco line has a ton of different models, and for 2022, they introduced obviously the Raptor Bronco, which has an even more potent engine, and so lots of exciting stuff happening in the Bronco series. Very, very quickly though, you start with the base Bronco, and then you work your way all the way up to the Raptor Bronco for 2022, but we are still here in a 2021 Bronco, and for 2021, basically the WILDTRAK was the top of the line, and that's what we are in here right now. It also has the Sasquatch Off-Road Package, which you can get on pretty much any line of Bronco. Now, again, we start with the base Bronco, come all the way up to this trim level here. And there are about 6 different trim levels between base to this one, total 6 for 2021. And in the description below, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys all the differences between all the different Broncos. Some fall a little bit more into the sort of street luxury realm, city driving. Some more off-road, and then this is like the ultimate off-road one, which of course includes all the technology and all the luxury features that are available too. But again, this is really off-road focused with its large tires. We'll go ahead and get more into that in a few minutes. But another cool thing about the Bronco, super customizable obviously, and then also it comes in 2-door model or 4-door model, so that's super exciting. But now let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, so we are here looking at the 2021 Ford Bronco WILDTRAK with the Sasquatch Off-Road Package. Now, as I mentioned before, you can get the Bronco in 2 or 4 doors, and I think even that right there, how cool is that, guys? I mean, the Bronco you can get in the 2-door or 4-door model. That right there, obviously super cool. Now, real quick in regards to styling, just no matter which model you get, I love the retro styling. Really a throwback to the original Bronco. The shape, the lights, the tie downs in the front. I mean, this car, it looks just so incredibly cool. Now, another cool thing about the Bronco is it's available in this hard top, also retractable soft top, and this, your standard soft top. What's great though too is that this whole thing comes off. So the doors come off, front doors, rear doors come off, as well as the entire back here. And I actually went ahead and did that. It's not super hard, and I'll tell you a few key differences in a second. So what we have right here, there are these 2 bolts. You unbolt this one right here and that one right there. You just connect this right here, and that's it. There it says lift right here. You lift up and you take the door. Now, obviously the door is pretty Spartan for a reason, which allows it to be on the lighter side. The front doors still weigh about 60 pounds. Now, the rear doors weigh much less, at about 35 pounds. Another really great thing are these mirrors. Okay, the mirrors are attached to the front of the vehicle, not to the door. So unlike its competitor with the Jeep, you have to actually get a whole different mirror setup, or the extension. That's kind of annoying. So with this, it's just super easy, super fast, plug and play. Back doors, same thing. We have the lift right here, little netting in here, door handle obviously, 2 bolts set up, and then the connection right here for all the door electronics with the window and things of that nature. Okay, so really not that difficult, and it's especially easy to take off the roof. It comes in a couple different panels. So there's this right here. This is the main roof lever. And then you have these different toggles, basically, I'll call them. And the front is in two pieces. Right here we have this side and this side. And then the rear is quite large. It's all one big piece. The rear, well, I'll call that the middle, sorry. And then the rear, which is essentially this piece right here, this also comes all the way off as well. So, you know, super easy to take off the roof, which I love. And it has sound deadening materials in it, so it's not as loud. Still relatively loud, to be honest with you. It's a little bit louder than I was expecting it to be. But, you know, considering that, you know, the whole thing comes apart, which is super cool, it's really not that bad. Now, getting to cost, the hardtop here costs $695 extra. The retractable soft top's actually a little bit more than that. But I mean, for $695, this hardtop, it looks super cool. It's very functional. That's really a must get. Now, the adding 4 doors cost about $3,900 more, only on the base model, about a $2,000 increase for the rest of the Bronco line. You really can get a nicely equipped 4-door Bronco for around $40,000 to $45,000. Now, again, right now, it's crazy times, and these are selling for way over sticker, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. But eventually, you know, that will all get taken care of, and, you know, production will be back up, and it will be, you know, you'll be good to go. A couple nice notable features is the 10-speaker B&O sound system that's available. That is on this. It's, you know, quite good, the sound system. You know, considering that there are no speakers in the doors for obvious reasons, you know, for weight, for taking them off, things of that nature. It's really, you know, it's a really good sound system. Now, the Sasquatch Off-Road Package, very popular package, obviously. A lot of people looking to do a lot of off-roading, adventuring with this vehicle. Comes with the electronic front and rear axle locking. Obviously has a higher clearance suspension here, so we get some additional ground clearance here. 17-inch rims with the mud terrain tires. So these are the Goodyear tires right here. They are 315s, 70, 17s. Really, obviously, aggressive tread pattern. The road noise is pretty substantial on them, but, you know, again, it all depends on how you want your Bronco to be, right? If you want it to be more of a city Bronco, it can, you know, you can do that. Or if you want it to be this really, really cool off-road Bronco, you know, it can do that as well. So really, what I think I'm going to stress about this vehicle, which I love so much, is just how customizable they are, which is just really great. Now, on the upper trim levels, you only get the most powerful engine with the 10-speed automatic transmission, but depending on which trim level you choose, you'll get 2 options. The base engine is a 2.3-liter turbocharged engine, makes 300 horsepower and 325 foot-pounds of torque, or for $1,895 additional cost, you get the larger 2.7-liter EcoBoost, again turbocharged. We're looking at about 330 horsepower there and 415 foot-pounds of torque. So obviously a big increase in torque and you know, some increase in horsepower as well, with the bigger engine for only around $1,900 total. So highly recommend that, unless you want the manual trim, unless you want the manual transmission. There is a manual available. It's only available on certain trim levels, and you also only get it with the base engine. So if you want the manual, obviously, you know, you have to get that. But you don't want the manual, I'd suggest the more powerful engine, which is pretty substantial power boost, but also, you know, not that much cost, $1,900 in the grand scheme of things for a brand new car, not a big deal. So, looking here, you can see the suspension tower right here. Lots of clearance between the wheels and there's the tires rather, and the fenders. I love the fender flares. They look really cool. Ford did such a good job with the branding of the Bronco on this thing. I mean, you really don't even look at it and think Ford. You think, oh wow, Bronco. You know, it's almost like it's entirely own brand. So WILDTRAK Sasquatch sticker. Look how cool, look at these cool stickers, right? We have like Sasquatch right here. WILDTRAK Sasquatch. Super cool. Love this burgundy color. We also have this WILDTRAK trim here on the door panels, which looks really great. It is a capless fuel, like pretty much all Ford vehicles. A couple fun little things to note here. It shows 1966. It shows the different models of Bronco right in here. So that's just, there's just cool little branding, you know, things that you'll notice. Right here, really think it's cool how the doors open. The rear door anyway. Okay, so we have some venting back here. We have some accessory stuff. These are the door bags. So Ford has these specially made bags where you can simply put them onto the doors while well, you're getting ready to take them off, and then you can easily transport them. The back of the vehicle here is also set up for storing and hauling doors. There's a whole system in there. In the summertime, hopefully we'll get another one, and we can show you more about all of that. The rear backup camera is integrated right here into the back tire. Great feature, because this tire obviously adds a lot of extra distance, so you don't want to be hitting people or things with this tire. So by having the camera all the way sticking out here at the back of the tire, past the tire, you can ensure that's not going to happen. Cool blacked out Bronco logo right here. And again, door hinges right here. Exposed door hinges really adds that cool Bronco outdoor look. Really nicely done LED headlamps. I think the lighting on this car, they did such a good job. It looks really cool. But yeah, so super neat car. Love the tie down option right here for, you know, canoes. You want to tie anything down, you got that ready to go right there. WILDTRAK in the hood right here. There's also the Broncos you probably had seen. It's done in a nice white color. We have the 360-degree view bird's eye camera. There's a camera in the front there for that. All LED lighting elements right here. Looks really neat. It also says Bronco up here on the windshield. Estimate 19, established 1966. Okay. Blacked out mirrors, cameras right here. Door locking right here, automatic. And press that to lock. Also on the rear hatch, which is great. Pillarless windows, of course, make it easy to get the doors off. And now we're going to go ahead and step inside and see what the Bronco here has to offer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take it for an interior test drive. Let's see what's going on. All right, so we are here inside the Bronco now. This is the top trim level, really. So some of the things you see in here, obviously, it's going to be a little bit more basic on like the base model. But one of the things I have to keep, you know, talking about the Bronco that I love so much is even the base models. They still get this cool screen right here. I think this is neat that they implemented, you know, the screen as well as, you know, a physical gauge right here. Still get, you know, these cool pull handles, and even the base seats on the Bronco, on the base Bronco, they're really cool looking. Steering wheel's the same. Really, I really love these controls here. They're rubberized and they feel really fitting for the Bronco. Nice touch to them. The Bronco right here, we have that right there and stamped in the steering wheel. Nice wheel, definitely made out of a nice, pretty nice material. Good. It'll be. I think it will last a long time, and it's also, you know, durable, easy to clean, which I think is something that's important in the Bronco to think about. You know, if you're on a trail, you don't want dust getting inside of all kinds of little crevices that are normally here on these controls. So by rubberizing them, they've eliminated that. So that is great. Again, love this handle right here. The air vents. Right here, a neat, nice little touch of color on there. Again, we have all those different off-road features that we talked about right here. And of course, we have the flashers right there. Love the seating position of the Bronco. It's, you obviously sit up really high, have this big hood in front of you. The strap down levers up there up front are cool to look at as you're driving. WILDTRAK, as you can see there, the emblem. Also, there's additional charging up here. We have a USB and USB-C charging, which is good to have functionality-wise. We have a speaker right here. And then we also have the B&O speakers up here as well, as you guys can see that right there. So, you know, these speakers, again, surprisingly good sound coming out of them. We also have more speakers in the rear as well. Bronco stamped right here, looks great. Okay, I mean, Ford did a really good job a couple of years ago thinking, okay, what do we want to do? Where do we want to put our money? Where do we want to invest? And they put a lot of money in this car, you can tell, and it's for a good reason. Right here it says designed and engineered Ford in Dearborn, Michigan, built at Michigan Assembly Plant. Right here, that's cool. Wireless charging right here. We also have USB-C again and regular USB as well. Another grab handle here for the passenger. Love the Bronco stamped right here. United States flag right here. It looks neat. And we have, of course, have our gear selection if we want to go ahead and lock out some gears or have it in manual mode. We'll go over all terrain response system. Also stands for greatest of all time. Anyway, no, it really stands for go over all terrain, but GOAT also greatest of all time. So we have our window controls in the center, which is good, obviously for weight reasons, of course. But then also, if you want to perhaps have the the front doors off and the rear doors on, you still can control the windows. Of course, it is push to start. Go and start it up. We have the larger, more potent engine here. We're going to go ahead and turn off the auto stop start. That's easy right there to do that. We have dual zone climate control. We have a heated steering wheel. We have heated seats with 3 different levels, as it is on all Ford vehicles. Now, I really love the auto blower speed selection. So you can have it, more aggressive, medium, or very low. For this, let's have it on 1 now since we are filming a video, but that's always a nice feature on the new Ford vehicles. You can select the individual level of speed that it will stay in auto mode, so it will still control the climate and the speed of the blower to a certain extent within that range. Okay, so here's the screen I was talking about. I really like it. I think it's a neat, it's very Bronco-esque. Feels somewhat, retro, old school, but at the same time, it's, modern. It has everything you need right here at your fingertips. So we have My View, which has something called Calm Screen, which is my favorite. So it's very simple. It just shows, your speed and your RPMs. And then also on the left-hand side, this Bronco, it has all the advanced safety features. So it tells you if you're, depending on how fast you're going, if you're going 80 miles an hour on the freeway, it knows that, and it says, hey, you should have some more following distance. You can have less following distance. Oh, then there's an orange and a red zone, right? Red obviously means you really should not be this close to that person. Orange is, you should probably, back off. And then if it's clear, then you're in a good spot. All right, so a nice safety feature. It's good to have. So of course we have your standard trip and fuel. We can look at fuel economy. Can show up there on the side. We have our different trips there. Average speed and auto stop start functionalities. So really simple stuff, but good to have. We have off-road, right? So it can tell us all kinds of different off-road information. Pitch and roll. Okay. It also shows the power distribution if you have it in all-wheel or four-wheel drive. Tire pressure monitor. So all kinds of really good information. We also can see the depending on the turbo, how much turbo boost we're getting. Oh, there's one there as well. So that's cool. Very customizable. Just depends on if you want a calmer screen or something with a little bit more information. Again, love that. Moving over here, we have Android Auto, which we're using right now, which is great. Fantastic functionality there. So I like to use Waze. Of course, you can have all kinds of different apps to choose from right here. Okay. But perhaps, you don't want to use Android Auto. That's not a problem. We can exit that. And we can go here into one of the many different screens. There's also navigation. If we want to use, for whatever reason, the Ford navigation system, which is really easy to use, by the way. Really do like their system. We can do that. And still, have the Android Auto capabilities over here on the right-hand side. Right here, we have all of our different settings for the vehicle. Some simple things, like sound, phone list, clock, general settings. Vehicle hotspot valet mode. Again, some nice features to have. They're, very responsive. This screen's very responsive. Love that. Zone lighting. I want to bring our attention to that. It's a really cool feature. Very simple, but very cool. Let's say you're out camping and you want to, you need to do something. You need to look at something. Well, we can press this right here, and their LED lights here on the left-hand side of the vehicle, they turn on. Let's say we also want the LEDs on the right-hand side. That's great. Or perhaps the back. Or, you know, we can have all the lights on. Headlights, side lights, all the lights. Very bright. So really nice. Again, if you're out, maybe you're even just working on something at home and you need a little extra light in the driveway, you can do that. Or camping, you know, again, tons of use cases for that. So you don't have to go over all of them, but tons of great use cases for that. Driver assistance. Okay, we have adaptive cruise control, which is great. We have the lane keep system with aid. We have the pre-collision assist. We have the rear view camera, of course, blind spot information, cross traffic alert, driver alert, and of course all of our parking sensors and cameras. Right here, as you can see, we have our 360-degree view camera on the right-hand side, and of course our I think we're actually looking at the front. That's the front view camera right now. But if we put in reverse, of course, it will go ahead and trigger the rear camera. Okay, so very highly functional. Love this sync system. I also really like how the screen is here, how it's positioned. It's also not too big, and this lip right here up top allows you know, the glare not to hit it. So it's always really easy to see, even though it's really sunny outside. All right, so coming just down here a little bit more, again, just, you know, again, we have our dual zone climate control, audio buttons as far as, you know, tuning, volume, you know, nothing crazy down there. Okay, so coming down here to the terrain response system, we have two-wheel drive high, which is obviously rear wheel drive standard. We can do a four-wheel drive auto, four-wheel drive high, or four-wheel drive low. And then right here we can do, this is like called trail control, okay, which is like a one pedal driving type situation, depending on, you know, the terrain you're going over. So if you want to do like a downhill descent control, it's good for that. And coming over here, we'll go ahead and talk about some of the different modes. There's a normal mode, there is an eco mode, of course. Another cool thing is, depending on the theme of the mode, it changes the graphics just a little bit. We have a sport mode. We have a slippery mode for, you know, the rain, or lots of rain, or some, you know, some snow. We have that. We also have a mud rut mode. We have the sand mode. We have Baja. All right, and so depending on the mode, it will do certain things automatically. Okay, so for instance, it's put us into four-wheel drive high right away, and we have, you know, this will stay on the front view camera in Baja mode. It's for off-road use only. Okay, so the car also turns off traction control for Baja. So again, it depends on what you preset it to. It will do different things. So now we have a normal mode. It will shift us back to two-wheel drive, which would be rear-wheel drive in this mode. But you can also manually select four-wheel, of course, if you want to have it in four-wheel drive and have it in normal mode as well. Yeah, so I think we've covered pretty much everything. We have the manual shifting mode here as well. Again, window controls right here in the center, mirror controls in the center. We will go ahead and show you guys the back seat real quick. Okay, so get my racing gloves out of there. So headrests, so for visibility, they can come down. Okay, also these seats can also fold down. Grab handle right here. Pretty comfortable. The seats sit up a little bit higher in the back. You know, they're pretty decent. It's probably not the most comfortable vehicle in the world in the back seat, but there's still, you know, there's enough room. There's a decent amount of room. Smaller doors, of course. Tiny little cup holders right there, but it's not bad. You know, the seats sit quite upright. Okay. But yeah, so guys, I think we're ready now to go ahead and take it for a drive on the road. Let's talk about, you know, what it's like driving the all-new Ford Bronco. All right, guys. So we're in the 2021 Bronco WILDTRAK with the larger 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine. Makes about 415 pounds of torque, about 330 horsepower, running on premium fuel. Now, something that I get asked a lot about the Bronco is, what's it sound like inside when you're driving it on the road? And the honest truth is that it's a little bit loud, louder than I was expecting it to be. Even with the additional sound deadening, even with the hardtop, which is going to sound even quieter, of course. But something I want to note is that this category of vehicle is always going to be relatively louder on the inside. And we also have the Sasquatch Off-Road Package, which comes with these mud terrain tires, these giant tires, which have tons of road noise. So if you're looking for there's really two different flavors of Bronco. You can go all the way off-road, which is what we are in here right now, or you can go for something a little bit more on the conservative side, which is going to still be, of course, very capable off-road, but going to drive a little bit quieter on the city streets and on the highway. Now, I will tell you that even with these meaty, huge, softer tires, I'm really impressed with how it drives. I thought it was going to be a little bit quieter, not a big deal, and I thought it was not going to drive as good as it does. Especially, in the turns, the body roll is surprisingly limited, and again, that was really surprising to me, because even going through curves at 50, 40, very little body roll, and that's something that I was very surprised, because these tires, these off-road mud terrain tires, have a tendency to they're softer, so they're going to also add to the body roll. Plus, it being a Bronco fully off-road spec, it's going to be built for off-road, for the off-road purpose, which tends to have a little bit more body roll than other vehicles. Now, the other thing is the 10-speed transmission's really good in this vehicle. Quick shifts, and they have obviously tons of different ratios, so you can really maximize fuel economy and or power delivery depending on what your needs are. Plus, it's great for having that for off-road as well. Gives you tries to get you in that exact correct power band range for your task, which is really great. So yeah, as far as the transmission goes, really good, and the immediate response, the power from the engine is also good. 0 to 60 time, I have not personally done that, but I'm going to estimate that in the 6 to 7 second range. And it's a quick vehicle for how large it is. And that's thanks to the turbocharging there with all that torque, over 400 foot-pounds, which is obviously a lot. And the steering also quite precise. Again, I keep bringing it back to being this is the ultimate off-road version, but yeah, it's really precise. I really like that. It's lots of control, and the road feel is good too. It doesn't feel too muted from the road. So yeah, as far as driving dynamics go, really impressed. There's a lot of boost, 16 pounds, almost 17 pounds of boost right there. But yeah, really, it gets going quick. The brake feels also good, and they come on nice. It's a nice modular, very linear feel, and they don't grab too quick. And as you press them down even more, has a really nice firm feeling to them. Definitely, lets you feel exactly where you are in that braking range, which I really appreciate. Some of these, bigger vehicles, they give you too much brake up front, but this is a really nice pedal feel on the brake. So that's great. Another thing, which I love about the Bronco is, again, the seating position up here. How you sit high above everything. Love the very squared off angular, dash right here, very flat. Really feels like you're driving a G-Wagon, which is one of my favorite all-time vehicles. obviously one of the ultimate off-roaders as well, the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. And this is kind of reminds me of like a more of a budget G-Wagon. Super cool in its own regard, of course. But yeah, super off-road focused, super popular, of course, with everybody because of how cool it is. You can take off the roof, you can take off the doors, you can go on a trailer. Even just take a nice cruise up here in the mountains with everything off. Really great, versatile vehicle. So yeah, absolutely, really, big fan of the Bronco. More so than I was expecting it to be. And again, you can get it in a manual transmission with the smaller engine, which should honestly still provide, with a lot of power, considering, again, the turbocharging, all that torque comes in, obviously at the lower end, which is great. Now, just to kind of give you guys, that driver's seat feel. I'm going to kind of switch up the camera angle here a little bit. But as you can see, everything's really easy to see, from the driver's seat, especially this, multimedia system. Cool having Bronco, stamped there up front. Really, again, of course, really like this screen setup along with the physical gauge. Looks really good. So, really do like that. It's cool to see how everything just kind of comes together with the Bronco. Makes it a really cool off-roader. Again, plenty of power, plenty of pickup, very responsive powertrain, great transmission. So yeah, I mean, as far as driving dynamics go, really impressed. I think they really outdid themselves, and it's definitely a really fun vehicle to drive, and it feels special. It feels very unique, which I really appreciate, and especially at this price point, guys. Fully loaded Bronco, a WILDTRAK Bronco, around $60,000. Super customizable. Love how customizable the Bronco line is, and you can still buy a relatively nice one for about $35,000, which is great. And mid-level is going to be in that $40,000 to $45,000 range. Again, right now prices are crazy. They're selling for $90,000, $100,000, but that's just due to dealer markup. Ford's not very happy about that. Neither am I. And eventually, hopefully in a year or so, that will all get taken care of. They'll be able to start producing way more of these, and they're going to be able to start taking care of their customers and their people who have ordered this really cool vehicle. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. I truly hope that you've enjoyed my review on the 2021 Ford Bronco 4-door WILDTRAK edition with the Sasquatch Off-Road Package. Hopefully later on here, coming in the spring, summertime, we'll be able to get another one or two of them. We'll go ahead and show you guys how the doors come off, how the roof comes off. We'll take it for a drive like that. Then maybe also do some lighter off-roading with one too, so you guys can really see, be able to demonstrate, how it does off the beaten path. All right, but until next time, I'm Kyle with Unboxed Autos, and as always, please feel free to drop any comments any comments or questions below. I'll be happy to answer them. All right, take care.